Brace yourselves, for the silence surrounding one of the most shocking political deaths in recent memory has been violently shattered. The case in question involves Nathi Mthethwa, the distinguished South African ambassador to France and former minister, whose sudden and mysterious death in Paris has become a symbol of deep political intrigue and a host of unanswered questions. For weeks, journalists and commentators around the world have speculated about the supposed suicide narrative that early reports presented. But now, a crucial and powerful voice in this chilling story has finally spoken out, and the result has sent shockwaves across the globe, dominating headlines and breaking the internet. The explosive revelation, Nathan Baugh's wife drops big names, has ignited an international frenzy of debate and speculation. Yet this is not merely the story of a widow mourning her husband. It is a far more complex narrative centered around Physio Bafoloy, a powerful businesswoman and influential public figure. Emerging from grief, she has chosen to confront those she believes orchestrated her husband's tragic demise, revealing a torrent of shocking and damning allegations. These accusations strike at the heart of political power, pointing directly toward individuals and institutions she insists are responsible for the ambassador's death. Her actions mark a moment of extraordinary courage and defiance, challenging an official narrative designed to close the case quietly and quickly. Physio Bafoloy, also referred to as Phio Bethy, is not an ordinary spouse. As the former CEO of the National Empowerment Fund, she holds a prominent place in South Africa's financial and political world. Her position, insight, and extensive connections make her claims impossible to dismiss. With a deep understanding of the intricate relationship between business, governance, and influence, she knows all too well the risks of speaking out and the value of evidence in exposing corruption. When someone of her stature chooses to speak, the world listens. The official version of events tells of Nathi Mthethwa falling from the 22nd floor of a Paris hotel, leaving behind a cryptic and unsettling message. Authorities framed him as a man overwhelmed by corruption allegations from his time as police minister, compounded by his impending appearance before the Madlanger Commission. But his wife and family categorically rejected this account, citing a lack of distress before his death, the suspiciously forced hotel window, and troubling forensic inconsistencies, all of which pointed to possible foul play. These red flags kept the story alive, fueling public curiosity and skepticism. The turning point came when Physio Bafoloy decided to name names. She did not simply hint at a cover-up, she directly accused specific individuals of placing immense pressure on her husband in his final days. Although she did not publicly disclose all the identities, the context of her statements made it clear that her accusations reached into the highest ranks of power, figures connected to the state capture era and key members of the ruling party, many of whom stood to lose everything if Nathi Mthethwa had testified truthfully. Her revelations likely focused on two key areas. First, she described direct communications between her husband and political operatives who tried to manipulate his testimony or silence him altogether. This was not about nameless officials hiding in the shadows, it was about powerful ministers and senior advisors operating at the top of government. According to her account, Nathi Mthethwa's diplomatic trip to Paris was not just routine, it was a desperate attempt to escape the suffocating political pressure while deciding his next move. If Bafoloy's testimony holds true, it exposes the specific threats, offers, and ultimatums that preceded his death, turning an abstract corruption scandal into a human tragedy with identifiable perpetrators. The second aspect of her claims pointed toward members of the intelligence and police services, institutions once led by her husband. These were individuals who stood to be most exposed by his upcoming testimony at the Madlanger Commission, particularly regarding the alleged misuse of intelligence funds and political meddling in sensitive investigations. Bafoloy reportedly detailed how her husband was under surveillance, how strangers appeared at their Paris residence unannounced, and how his communications were being intercepted. She even suggested that a specific handler or liaison had delivered the final, fatal message. This unprecedented level of detail, coming from the victim's wife, transformed rumor into something closer to potential legal evidence, capable of forming the foundation for a criminal case. Her demeanor during the interview was not that of a woman lost to grief or hysteria. Rather, she spoke with the composure and precision of a corporate leader delivering a briefing, except this time, the hostile takeover was not of a company, but of her husband's life. She outlined a clear timeline, from the moment Nathima was summoned to testify, through the escalating political pressure, and finally to the tragic day of his death. It painted a harrowing picture of a once powerful minister reduced to a pawn in a ruthless political struggle, and of a wife transformed into an unexpected hero demanding justice. The impact of Buffalo's revelations was immediate and far-reaching. By daring to name names, she did more than clear her husband's reputation from the shadow of suicide. She set in motion a wave of legal and political upheaval. What began as a quiet diplomatic inquiry quickly evolved into a full-scale criminal investigation, now probing potential charges of murder or culpable homicide. Even more startling, several of those under scrutiny reportedly hold influential government positions. As the story gained traction, the public discourse shifted dramatically. It was no longer a private family tragedy but a national reckoning about political accountability and the safety of whistleblowers. Trending search terms told the story of this evolution, from ambassador death to Bethy testimony and high-level assassination plot. This transformation marked a new chapter in how the media and public perceive corruption and power in South Africa. In the end, Physio Bethy's courageous decision to speak the truth stands as the defining climax of this complex saga. Her actions transformed speculation into a determined pursuit of justice, defying the entrenched forces that many consider untouchable. She risked everything, her safety, reputation, and social standing, to honor her husband's memory and demand accountability from those responsible for his downfall. The names she spoke now echo across the internet, stirring outrage, prompting investigations, and sparking debates around the world. The narrative has evolved far beyond the mysterious death of Nathi Mthethwa. It has become a testament to one woman's resilience, a symbol of her unwavering fight to expose the darkness that festers within power. Thanks to her, the internet isn't just a buzz, it is alive with purpose, united in a call for truth and justice.